Cosmic Warriors, and welcome back to another video. Okay, so in today's video we are going to be taking a look at the physical appearance and physical attractiveness of the Sagittarius Rising. Now before we do get into this, I just want to say a big massive thank you to all of you who decided to send in your images to me. I'm so grateful for how you are willing to take part today. Though I also want to say sorry to any of you who did send in your photo but you're not featured in the video today. I just had so many photos sent in. I do hope you understand, but still thank you to all of you who did send in your images. Now before we do get started, make sure that you give this video a like if you like it. Also make sure to subscribe if you have not already, and to click that little bell icon in order to keep yourself updated with further content from myself. But yeah, with all that being said then, Sagittarius Risings, let's do this. Right, so firstly I just want to mention that we're specifically going to be focusing on the rising sign to analyze physical appearance today and attractiveness. But also keep in mind that the sun sign and the midheaven can also provide more of an indication into the physical appearance here as well. And some astrologers also like to look at the placement of the chart ruler within your chart in order to get more of an insight too. Now I have already created a physical appearance series, but this was about 3 years ago. Though I would like to think that I have certainly grown in my knowledge and understanding of astrology within the past 3 years, though the main difference between the previous series and this one is that in the previous series I used celebrities for examples, but with this one, like I said, I asked yourselves, my viewers, my subscribers, for your images to use as examples. So anyways, with all that then kind of being discussed, what is it about the Sagittarius risings that is physically attractive? Well, the first commonly known example is to do with their smile. And this is something that I noticed about the images and pictures that were sent in to me. And that is that so many Sagittarius risings smiled in their photos in comparison to the Libra risings, and especially in comparison to the Scorpio risings. Don't get me wrong, many of them may also have Pluto conjunct their ascendant if they are part of the Pluto in Sagittarius generation, sort of contributing to the whole serious look. But as a whole, I saw many more smiles, smirks, and grins. Some of them showed their beautifully gleaming and well-shaped teeth whilst they smiled. Others closed their mouths as they smiled, as they still showed that they were happy enough to have their photo taken. And others also smiled with their eyes. So whenever they did smile, you could just see their eyes just completely light up. And like I said, a few of them smirked. And apparently smirking can be seen as smiling in a silly way, which is kind of interesting because Sagittarius rising individuals can often act quite silly and goofy and kind of childlike, and they basically just know how to laugh things off and not really take life so seriously, while still displaying their academic and intellectual side as well. Though still, I also noticed that some of them grinned, where they smiled broadly. These smiles made them really appear happy and cheerful, which Sagittarius rising individuals very much can be. But essentially, it's the way they smile, it's how they smile, and it's something about their smile that is physically attractive and appealing. And did you know that, according to science, smiling can make you more physically attractive? Apparently, researchers in Switzerland examined the relationship between smiling and attractiveness, and they found that the stronger the smile, the more the face looked attractive. And it was also found that a happy face can even compensate for relative unattractiveness. I mean, how many times have you heard from family, friends, or on dating shows, etc., the whole terminology of what I loved about that individual was their smile. Now it's got me quite self-conscious about my own smile because I realise that I'm smiling quite a lot right now and it's making me smile even more. Not to mention, smiling can be contagious. So if you're walking down the street, for example, and you're maybe not really having the best of days, but then somebody walks past you and they smile at you, you may just smile back, or that smile in itself may be enough to just brighten up your day. Maybe even whilst you're watching this video right now, as I'm smiling so much, you find yourself smiling along with me. Who knows? So I could go on and on and on about smiling and the many benefits of it within everyday life, but ultimately Sagittarius risings are known for displaying a smiley, cheerful and friendly demeanour that can be viewed as pleasing to look at and also just fun to be around overall. Which leads us on to another thing about the Sagittarius rising individuals in terms of their physical attractiveness. It's to do with how they are fun people to be around and spend time with. These are people who can lift you up if you're feeling down. They're adventurous and they can be up for a good time, or they can be up for a spontaneous getaway trip. They can be lively and carefree and good humoured and high-spirited, and they can have you laughing your ass off with their exuberant personalities. And it can also be suggested that these qualities are seen through their hair, or through their makeup, or through the accessories that they choose to wear, or through their clothing choices. Now, of course, it's good to also look at the Venus sign within the chart in order to get more of an indication, but what I noticed from many images sent in to me is that their carefree and fun personality can be showcased through their hair and their makeup and their accessories and their clothing and so on. Some of them had wild hair, some had beachy hair, some had dyed hair, some had free-flowing hair, some of them wore really creative and poppy and artsy makeup, others had nose rings, some even had scarves, some were wearing beanie hats, big glasses, also looking at big earrings too, and some also wore like little crystal necklaces, which I suppose connects in with that spiritual side to Sagittarius. And I also look at these accessories that I just described as maybe a part of the Sagittarius demeanor that's quite outdoorsy and explorative. And I also noticed the fun vibrancy through their clothing as well. So there was many different colors, many different patterns and different designs and combinations that they played around with. And even one individual in particular, she goes by the name of Magic Katie on YouTube, and she has a tattoo of the word free on her wrist. And I mean, that just says it all. And another individual that I want to mention under the name of Shira in the Stars on YouTube, she has a huge tattoo here, so on her neck, which I think displays that very wild and free side of Sagittarius as well. But ultimately, there's just something about the Sagittarius physical appearance that really does display their ability to just let loose and roll with whatever life throws at them. And I think that there may be plenty of people out there who can find this to be physically attractive, especially people who are a bit more spontaneous and open, just like them. And I suppose in a way it's also their openness that can be viewed as physically attractive as well, which I also think further contributes to the whole smiling. After all, smiling is a much more open expression of body language in comparison to frowning, for example. But yeah, it's the Sagittarius rising's open demeanor that may have others looking at them in awe. And what I mean by this statement is that maybe the Sagittarius risings can give off more open body gestures and postures and mannerisms that can be deemed as physically attractive. For example, right, having your arms uncrossed is much more inviting and non-threatening and welcoming in comparison to having your arms crossed, right? Though it could just be how they carry themselves overall, where they're more wider and broader and more open in some way. Furthermore, what we also notice when it comes to the Sagittarius rising's physical appearance is that their facial features or something about their body, so a certain area on their body, can appear bigger or more exaggerated. This could be their nose, for example, that can appear very wide and thick, or it can appear very long and just very narrow. Or this could be their forehead that can appear to be quite wide in its appearance, or this could be their eyes that can appear either quite big or high or wide, or this could be their lips that can appear quite large and flumptuous, or this could even be their cheeks that can appear quite plump and wide or tall and lengthy. And when they do those big smiles that I just previously mentioned, you can see how these exaggerated features, they just pop. Which, can I also just say here, they appear to have a certain twinkle in their eyes, whether they smile or not. It's sort of this gleaming, sparkly look to their eyes. Though focusing on their faces as a whole for just a moment, I saw that many of the Sagittarius risings who sent in their photos had quite long faces or quite broad faces. I was able to see many oval face shapes or round face shapes. There's some other exaggerated features about the female Sagittarius rising specifically are their hips, their thighs, and their butts. Now, of course, I can't show these through the images displayed, but this is a commonly known thing when it comes to Sagittarius risings, in that they have much more wider, like a wider hip, thigh, butt area. Though of course that's not to say that all Sagittarius risings will have this, but it's just something to consider when it comes to this Jupiter energy on the Ascendant in relation to physical appearance and attractiveness. Though to be fair, maybe for some Sagittarius risings this can be shown through the actual length of their legs, so by having longer legs or by having just body features that are either more lengthy or just bigger in some way. Though another thing that I want to mention is to do with how the Sagittarius risings are the types of people who want more out of life. These are the people that want to see what life has to offer and then to go above and beyond that, suggesting that the person or persons who end up dating them, for example, or getting into a relationship with them, should be open to the Sagittarius rising's explorative side, to the many possibilities really that may lie ahead but are also not certain or set in stone. And I think that this sort of risky and scattered yet eager and easygoing part of the Sagittarius can be physically attractive to plenty of people. So people who are okay with this get up and go attitude, or people who enjoy the thrill and excitement that comes with change really, and also people who are open just to new opportunities and experiences. And I also think that the thirst for knowledge and intellectual side of Sagittarius can be very physically appealing too, especially to people who fall in love with the mind of someone. You know how you can kind of look at somebody and maybe not find them to be necessarily attractive in your eyes, but then after having a conversation with them, you're like, oh my goodness, you're very physically attractive to me now. Yeah, Sagittarius risings may just have that effect on other people. Though the last thing I want to talk about when it comes to the Sagittarius rising's physical attractiveness is to do with their ability to lead without controlling others. See, Sagittarius rising individuals can be very good at exemplifying leadership-like qualities in a way that isn't smothering or overbearing. They most likely will not come across as clingy or demanding, and so in this way they can be very good at giving you your space if you need it, and they can just be pretty easygoing and chilled. Though still, whenever they're placed into a situation where they know that it's go time, or when they know that they have to act, they can be very, very good at just taking charge within these particular situations, whilst also making sure that everybody else is cool with it. Though ultimately it's the Sagittarius risings, I think, that can be charismatic and jovial leaders who possess a strong vision for what lies ahead, and they're really able to build others up by sharing a positive outlook and also by providing words of encouragement. And whilst they're doing so, I also think that they can come across as pretty genuine and as pretty generous too. And so due to these factors, I think that a Sagittarius rising can be seen as physically attractive and as physically appealing to others who truly feel inspired by not only their view of the world, but also by their wisdom as well. Okay then, Cosmic Warriors, so that concludes my video on the physical appearance and the physical attractiveness of the Sagittarius rising. Now, if you happen to be one of the individuals who sent in your image and you've been featured in this video, certainly let us know what you thought of the video. And also, if you have Sagittarius rising in general, let us know what you thought of the video in the comment section down below. And just, I want to say again, thank you so much to all of you who did send in your images, and again, I do apologize to any of you who were not featured in the video today. I do hope you understand. But anyways, folks, that is me. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And of course, if you would like to see more videos from myself and you have not yet subscribed, then go right ahead and click that subscribe button and give this video a like, remember. And I will be back with another video very, very soon. Bye.